Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Welcome to the fun house. It's flea market, garage sale, yard sale season. Hope everyone is finding some good musical treasures out there. I'm going to try to get through this video without coughing too much. I've had that weird cough thing now for a week, slowly getting over it. Sip time. But I found some great musical stuff, and I'm so glad to show it with you. So glad you're joining with me. And of course, in order to buy stuff, I have to sell stuff to get some money to buy. What I did was go through my soundtrack. It seems like I have an endless supply of soundtrack albums, and I'm just selling them off, and they keep growing. I don't know how. But I sold the Guardians of the Galaxy picture disc. According to the Discogs app, medium value. I should have got 13 bucks for it, but I sold it on eBay. I only got $6.99 for it. But hey, that's what I started the price as, so that's what I was willing to sell it as. It got a new home. I sold a bunch of record flats, you know, those promo 12-inch flats. They're just a little thin piece of cardboard stock, and they promote the album by showing usually the album cover. I've got a lot, but I sold off, I think like 6 of them or something. Some Yngwie, there was Accept, Balls to the Wall in there. Metallica, Master of Puppets, although that one's pretty beat up. They averaged about $2 each. I got $11.99 for them. The Alien soundtrack. This is again when I was collecting soundtracks. I was trying to get every soundtrack ever made. I don't know why. Alien, of course, is a great movie. I'm not into horror movies that much, but according to the Discogs app, should have got 36 bucks for it, but actually sold on eBay for 41. Yippee, I'm rich. Time Bandits, another soundtrack. I just recently bought that one, but after playing it, I'm like, I don't think I'll ever play this again. So, according to the Discogs app, she got 42 bucks for it, median condition, but I got $23.50, I believe, for that. But, hey, whatever. It's cash. I need cash. Hercules soundtrack, way back with the Lou Ferrigno version of Hercules. According to the Discogs app, she got 17 bucks for it. I actually got $17.99, baby. Sip time. And Batman Forever. I need to rewatch that one. I don't think I like that one as much as a lot of the other Batman movies. Endless supply of superhero movies. Median value on Discogs at 36 I should have got. I actually got $26.99, I believe. So, close. I mean, it's all out of whack, you know. So, hey, I took that big profit. Went to the flea market, always walking down the aisles of flea markets. I love it. I go to the Allstate Arena one near me, about 20 minutes down the road. You gotta get there at 6 a.m. If you're not there at 6 a.m., even before 6 a.m., all the hardcore flippers are there like at 4 a.m. and it's just crazy. But if you get there at 6, at least you can find parking and you can get kind of an early view of stuff. But yeah, I love it. There's always an insane amount of eclectic stuff there. And one guy was selling old posters for $1, and this dude right in front of me got there right before me. He bought pretty much almost all of them. I saw the Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven one where it's got the lyrics. I have a smaller version of that one, and some other rock ones. But I was able to get this Beatles. I'll show you a closer view of it here. But yeah, so this was $1. It's not in great shape, but after I found a frame, I think for 24 bucks, I was able to frame it, and it hides a lot of the flaws in it. So I'm happy with it. I have no place to hang it, but I'm going to do a video soon about rock and roll animation movies, so I need to keep that around until then, and then who knows, I may try to sell it eventually. I also found a Blues Brothers one, which is sitting here behind the Beatles. That was 10 bucks, and put that in a frame, and really happy with that. Big Blues Brother fan here, as you can tell, but I have no idea where I'm going to hang that. I just have a lot of my posters in my drum room that are kind of just stacked up against each other. Eventually I'm going to have to unload some of them, because why just keep them if they're... But I have no wall space, and I don't know if I'm ever going to move out of this house and another house. And of course the flea market, there's always people selling albums. This one guy had... They were like... Every album I swear was like 10 to 20 bucks overpriced. And then he had these mirrors that were just overpriced. It just, I mean, if you think you get those prices, great. But to me, these people are bringing the same albums to the flea market every week with these higher than average prices. Not the flea market. People don't get up early and go to a garage sale or flea market and say, man, I hope I could find something that the person is charging more than I can get if I would have just slept in and scored it on eBay. No one. So I don't know. I price myself low on eBay because I want to get rid of it. I don't know why people don't have that same mentality when they come to a flea market. Just because it's a vinyl record doesn't mean that it's gold. On my way out, this guy just had junk all over his table. He wasn't organized, didn't have anything priced. junk all over, and he just kept throwing more junk onto his table. And something caught my eye as he was throwing it on the table. The picture of the little shark there. This is a early, could be the first edition, I don't know, of Peter Benchley, a little novel he wrote called Jaws. I have it in plastic. I've been reading it and then putting it back into plastic because I'm crazy like that. I love the cover art, the simple cover art, of course, that they would use that to draw upon, of course, for the movie, and the poster. Actually, it's weird. I've only read a little bit into it. Usually books are way more descriptive. The opening attack scene in Jaws, where that woman takes off clothes, goes skinny dipping, and gets eaten by a shark, is way more intense, I think, in the movie. It's really just kind of happens really quick here, and there's not a lot of description into it. But however, I'm sure throughout the book there's going to be a lot more descriptive things happening in the book than you see in the movie. You know what's a good book from a movie is Gremlins. It has a whole history leading into the Gremlins and why they're here, and it's really good. So a lot of times, yeah, books are cooler than actually sitting in the movies. But of course, we all just like to sit down and watch a movie. Who wants to read? This one guy had a $2 table, and everything was $2. And in an old frame, he had the Honey Bears pictures. These are cheerleaders from the Chicago Bears. We used them from 1976 to 86, and then 86, they're like, we don't want to exploit women. They're cheerleaders. They were born for being exploited. This is sip time. The picture was actually stuck to the glass. Some people say, well, you can heat up the glass a little bit, or this or that, or put it in water for a sec, warm water. I don't know. But as I was peeling off, it was ruining it. So I had to keep the glass and then purchase a frame. But yeah, Honey Bears. I don't know where. I have a Chicago room upstairs. I have a video about my Chicago room upstairs, so I'll add that Chicago room somewhere. But hey, let's get to music. Of course, a little bit of vinyl, but majority of the stuff I've been buying has been CDs. These were $1 each at the Flea Market. Yes, this is Going for the One from 1977. This is already their 8th album in 1977. Really proggy still era of Yes, and it's always good to find. I love finding like old rock albums on CDs. You know, it's good stuff. Goo Goo Dolls. This one passed me up. I always heard of Superstar Car Wash, and I don't know why, because I have all the albums leading up to it and after this era, and I don't know why, but I finally got it now on CD. This is their 4th album from 93, and it's a great one. Look at it, boy. That says early 90s indie college rock look there. You can't, that's perfect. Yeah, but it's a great band. This era of it. Great stuff. And of course, you can always mail order things straight from the record company. I have a few that are waiting still to come, but the ones that have come so far. Styx. What? Styx? They're still around? Yes, they are. So only Tommy Shaw and J.Y. Young from the classic era left anymore, but hey, they're still pounding it out. This is their 18th album, and it just came out. Circling from Above, and it's pretty good. It's actually kind of more proggy than poppy, I'd want to say. And it's yeah, Circling from Above by Styx. Love the artwork, love the cover art, and it's well worth a listen. It's currently sitting on my turntable there, and it's a nice addition to Styx. You know, is it going to crack Styx top 5 albums of all time? Probably not, but it's still a nice addition to your Styx collection. Smokin' Popes, I talked about them a few videos ago. Their 8th album came out, but this is a single off of it. The single's Golden Moment, but the front side is actually Allegiance, and it's got the guy from Local H singing with it, and it's a great song, actually. I shouldn't say it's pretty good. It's a great song. So well worth Allegiance. 7-inch. This is on Anxious and Angry albums, or that's where I got it from. But yeah, this is good stuff. Smokin' Popes, always glad to have the pop punk perfectionados Smokin' Popes in my collection. Went to a local record store that's like 80% vinyl, so whenever he gets CDs in, he wants just them to get out of there. So pretty much for like $1 to $2 each, scored a big stack of CDs. Let's go through them. Boom, boom, boom. The 10th one from 1975. Can you believe they've already had 10 albums when this is their 10th album by the time this came out? But it's the first one with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham talking about Fleetwood Mac. They said, hey, let's just call it Fleetwood Mac again. Let's start over. And of course, this era would just kick them into the stratosphere. Fleetwood Mac. Kids like Fleetwood Mac these days. Bury Your Dead, more of a hardcore punk band. Not for me. I didn't really enjoy it that much. They're on Victory Records out of Chicago here. But yeah, it's good. This is what $1 or $2 CDs are for. Hey, this kind of looks interesting. Should I buy it? Sure, let's put it on. Oh, not for me. Sell it back. Testament, a live album from 1995. Chuck Billy on vocals. And again, it's nice to hear. I'll put it in my iTunes. Love Testament. However, this is one of the classic live albums where you get a lot of vocals and drums. Where's the guitar? Heavy metal, I want guitars. But yeah, so the mix isn't that great, in my humble opinion, from 95. So they're all playing their hits that they had in the late 80s. Headbanger Ball era stuff. Good, great song selection. But yeah, just to me, the sound quality wasn't worth keeping. When you got thousands and thousands of albums and CDs, you can be a little picky about what you're going to keep from now on. And this one's going to get sold back pretty much. Demons and Wizards. This is their debut, the first of 3 albums they have. I do have one of their albums on vinyl, but this is, of course, obviously the CD version. First of 3rd, this came out in 2000. Features the singer from Blind Guardians and a guitar player from Iced Earth. But yeah, this is like power metal, so it's good stuff. I took a chance when I bought their vinyl some years ago, just because the artwork looked really cool, and I'm like, you know what? I need to get more recent heavy metal stuff. But yeah, 2000, the intro, the debut album from Demons and Wizards. Exodus, of course, a great 80s heavy metal band. Lessons in Violence. This is the comp for all their songs, the songs that were big, 85 to 89. So this is, I'm not a huge, like, Overkill and Exodus. I was always just a casual fan, average fan. So for groups like this to get a comp of all their great stuff, that's perfect for me. $1, now I have all that I need. Of course, if you love Exodus, you're like, no, you need this. But hey, for me, $1, all I need. Another great example of it, although I do have their 2 albums. I think they have more than that, but I just have the first 2. Like the vast majority of record collectors have their first one. The Knack is who I'm talking about. This is Retrospective from The Knack. Their debut album came out in 79. Everyone thought they're going to be the American Beatles. And they had My Sharona and Good Girls Don't. And I can't remember anything off that other than that. So if you're going to be the American Beatles, someone like me should know a lot more songs from you. But yeah, The Knack Retrospective, another great example of, boom, $1 CD. That's all I need. Neon Angels from the Runaways compilation with Joan Jett and Lita Ford era Runaways. Again, boom, all I need, 12 songs. I do have a few albums, so they're obviously with Sherry singing, but yeah. Ace Frehley Origins Vinyl 1. I've been wanting to get this for a long time. Came out 2015. This is where Ace picks a bunch of cover songs that he wants to do. Some are great. Some are some are like, what are you thinking, Ace? What the hell are you thinking, Ace? But, you know, it's Magic Carpet Ride, Bring It On Home, the Zeppelin, Street Fight Man, White Room. So if you know, if you're a Kiss fan, you're going to own it. If you're not, Ace Frehley's playing and singing, and he doesn't sing lead on all of them, but it's always interesting to hear Ace's perspective of these rock songs. So he's had a few of these Origins, but yeah, this is volume 1 on CD. Again, can't go wrong for $1 or $2. Hammerfall, another power metal. Look at me getting into the Swedish power metal. This is from 98, Legacy of Kings. This is their 2nd album, Swedish power metal. I want to find, I like power metal. I want to find stuff with like more orchestra into the power metal. That boom, you know, I watch on YouTube the videos, these groups playing these big European festivals with thousands and trillions of millions of people, and every once in a while some like power metal band will come on, but that they have the orchestra keyboard thing. Oh, it's good stuff. I want to find more bands like that if I could. Hammerfall again, like I said, Swedish power metal. This is their 4th album from 2002. This is Crimson Thunder. Crimson, look at the artwork. I mean, $2, you're never gonna pass that up. Never going to pass it up if you like heavy metal, or hard rock, or pop. Smooth jazz, if you love smooth jazz, you might pass it up. But all the other things, yeah. Sabotage, their 9th album from '95. Yeah, Dead Winter Dead. This is a promo version of a little stamp. I don't know if CD promos, like some people search the LP promos. I don't know if CD people search CD promos. I would imagine. But anyway, it's not, what was his name? John Olivia, the singer. It's not him singing anymore. He'd left, and it's the other guy, and I just don't get into his vocal style as much. I have another one that I owned for a little bit and sold back, and this is going to meet the same fate. It's going to be sold back too. I put it on my iTunes, I'll have it, but I don't need the physical version of it because just not a fan of that guy's singing. I don't know. Sings better than me, talks better than me. It's Sip Time. Blind Guardian, of course, singer from Demons and Wizards, his original band. A Twist of the Myth. This is the strange one, people say, from Blind Guardian. This is their 8th one from 2006. I think they have 12 albums now. This group from Germany. And people are, this is the only one I have of theirs, so I can't compare it to anything else. But if you read about this album, Twist of the Myth, people are like, oh, that's their odd one. People hate it, or people like, it's got its place, it's weird. But to me, it's my only introduction to this band. So Blind Guardian, I like that enough that I'll check out what they're supposed to sound like or something like that. Kicking on back to the groups like Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This came out in 80, way back when, 80. This is the best of. I have the vinyl version. I bought that at a garage sale a long time ago for a few bucks. Now I got the CD for $1. I went to another record store and bought the second Man of War album, because if you watch my videos, you'll see last video, the video before that, I bought another Man of War album. They have them priced really cheap to go in used condition, but they're not cheaper albums. This was only like $20, I believe. And yeah, this is their second one from Man of War. You can see by the cover, you know what kind of music they're playing. If you're brave enough to wear that to the photo shoot, or somehow your agent talked you into that, or I don't know what, you better be heavy metal if you're wearing that stuff. It's good. It's their second album, as what I said, from 83. 83. Not a lot of bands were willing to look like that yet. 83. Dream Child. Picked this up on a whim because I was flipping it over, and I'm like, yeah, it's Rudy Sarzo. Rudy Sarzo is one of the few people that I've sent a DM to in social media world, and he actually responded to me. I read his book, his autobiography, or his biography, I don't know, the story about him written by him, and I said, hey, I like this and this, blah, 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 and then he wrote back, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, social media, Rudy Sarzo, me and him are friends. Also has Craig Goldie, you know him from Dio, and what was he? Was he Jufria, I think? Craig Goldie, and a few other guys, but the singer sounds like Dio. And obviously he probably grew up listening to him. Some people don't like that fact. They're like, oh, he's just trying to clone him. But yeah, he sounds a lot like Ryan James Dio. So to me, that's okay, cool. This is Until Death Do We Meet Again from Dream Child. I think they may be a one album, just this one so far. What year did this come out? 2018 on Frontiers. But yeah, it's good stuff. I've listened to a few songs, and I'm really happy I purchased it. It was only like, I think it was like $20 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Dream Child featuring Rudy Sarzo. Close personal friend of mine. I don't know about this cover. It's just a drawing, but let me hide half of it. This is For What Is Not from Pill. Yeah. So it's their, what do I have down there? 8th album. Holy moly. Johnny Lydon and the Boys. Of course, John Lydon, John Rotten, Sex Pistols. I'm seeing the Sex Pistols in a few months without Johnny Rotten playing Riot Fest. But anyway, I digress. Pill. It's Pill. It's not them at their best. It's not them at their worst. It's from 1992 when it came out. I bought it on cassette, actually. But hey, for $1, 2025, I'm glad to own it on CD. Got Star Wars thing. I don't know how I didn't own this. I own it on LP and 8-track and cassette, and so I got CD version of Star Wars, the original movie. Dawn of the Dickies. Just bought this on Amazon. I know, I suck. Feeding the man. I'm feeding the man. I had to buy something else that was really easiest to get on Amazon. So in order to get that threshold where you get free shipping, I'm like, I'll just purchase a CD. So that's my apology to the world. Dawn of the Dickies from the classic punk band, the Dickies. Saw them last year at Riot Fest, and I was very impressed with them. This is their second album from 1979. Alright, Babylon AD, this is their second one from 1992. One of the kind of, you would say, hair metal bands that kind of fell by the wayside when the grunge movement, I hate that word. I hate the word grunge. The Seattle sound, I like to say, the Seattle sound movement kind of came through. And always hair metal band, oh, Nirvana killed us. No, your fan base stopped seeking you out. Yeah, it was a little harder because you weren't being pushed by MTV and the album labels and all that. But hey, I like punk rock. You think, besides like here and there, punk rock has never been pushed. When do you ever hear real punk rock on radio stations or MTV? No, you didn't. But the fans loved it, and we sought it out, and we went to all those concerts. So stop blaming Seattle bands for ruining your little hair metal movement, because no one was forcing people not to go to the concerts. It just became harder, so a lot of Fairweather fans just were like, oh, I'm not into this because it's not cool anymore. You know, I used to like Rat, and now I like Soundgarden. That's Fairweather fans. All you hardcore fans, no one was stopping you from going and seeing your bands. And a lot of these bands are still touring. Anyway, I digress. I just get mad when people blame things. No, blame yourself. You're your own fault. That's sip time. Angry sip time. Speaking about that, a band that came out on the last of the kind of sort of popular years of hair metal, 89. It's called a band called Bang Tango. I just watched on YouTube here for free a documentary about Bang Tango. So if you're into that, search it. I think it was put out maybe about 10 years ago, but it's uploaded to YouTube for free. It's a really good look at a band that we're like, oh, are they going to be a little bigger? Nope, nope, nope. And they're still trucking at it. But anyway, this album came out, and some of it really blew me away. I like the single off of it, Someone Like You, and a few other tracks really liked. They also tried to get like into a funky side, kind of a Red Hot Chili Pepper. I didn't mind Faith No More being a little funky. I didn't really like Chili Peppers at all, but I hated when hair metal bands or heavy metal bands or bluesy kind of heavy metal bands tried to also get funky. Now, let like Earth, Wind, and Fire be funky. Like, let George Clinton be funky. Just not so much stay your lane, but stay your lane. So I never got into the side that they're trying to be funky. But anyway, Bang Tango. I really like the other stuff. And I couldn't see them. They were playing on a Tuesday night of all nights, which is a horrible job. You want to play Chicago on a weekend, get yourself a big crowd. But anyway, on Tuesday night, my friend knew I couldn't go. I had to sort stuff at UPS, unload trucks. But on the way to school the next day, he told me, he's like, hey, I know what hotel they're staying at. It's on the way. If you want to go, I know they have to like check out at 10 or something. So I did. I went out, and at this little crappy hotel was a big old tour bus, a lot of bands. Why did you rent a big old tour bus? Those things were like $800 a day back then or more. It was crazy, but you want to look like rock star, so you got to get the tour bus. But anyway, it would have been smarter to tour in a van for a lot of those bands is what I'm saying. It's Joe Liste, the singer. I saw him first. He signed this little, it's like an ad for the show, or yeah. And then he walked me onto the tour bus, and then all the other dudes signed it, so I was happy. At the time, I think I had their tape, and I thought that was too small for them to sign. I have the LP. Would have loved for them to sign that, but I just recently got the LP. Now I got the CD. Bang Tango, Psycho Cafe. It was worth it. If somehow you haven't heard of this band, and you like the glam rock, heavy metal stuff, pick it up for sure. I also got the second album, Dancing on Coals, on CD. Oh, there's the CD. Okay, well, the stack is gone. Everything is going. I need a sip. Thanks for watching.